Okay. As most of you know, right now in our country, we're witness to dozens of celebrities and athletes taking a knee. Right now, they're taking a knee to basically protest the injustice of what's going on in the world. They're taking a knee because they're showing that they're not supporting the national flag. They're not supporting the national anthem. And the real question is, do you truly think that this is justified? From high school students to high-name celebrities, that everyone's starting to take a knee. Everyone's trying to get into the pool, I guess, so to speak. Everyone's wondering if they should or not, whether it's popularity, whether it's really trying to fight for a cause. What sparks the interest for me personally, though, is that my dad's a former vet. He was in the Army for 27 years, actually. Got deployed twice. So me growing up as a kid, I didn't have that father figure for a while. And my father, whenever he was home and he heard the national anthem, he would cry a little bit because, military people, Army people, they all have that little dedication. They all have that devotion that they have to it. Even one of my friends now, he hears the national anthem and he cries. It's crazy once you actually get into that side of things. So that's why all those arguments are being proposed like they are. But that's a little off topic. Our community believes it's morally correct to stand for the national anthem, but I believe that you should have the right to disagree. I believe that you should be able to have your own voice and stand or sit if you really want to. The national anthem, first I will discuss why the national anthem, or why we should have our own authority when deciding whether to stand for the national anthem. Next, I will talk about what was my second main point? Second, I'll talk about whether or not that's detrimental to your life. Third, I will talk, I just forgot my main point. So, as I flow, I'll keep going. But the national anthem is a national treasure that everyone should appreciate to an extent. But everyone should truly reconsider their rights as citizens. Because it's your right as a citizen to stand for the national anthem, but if you actually look in the code book, you actually don't have that right. It is actually recommended for you to stand for the national anthem, but the way around it is that there's no prosecution, that there's no penalties for not standing. It just says that you should stand, but there's no penalties for not standing. People should feel free in this country, and as a website I use, Observer.com by Jasmine Levine. A key defense of Kaepernick's actions is that he is within his rights of an American to protest in this manner. So when you decide, ask yourself why. Because my dad was a veteran in the Army, and he taught me, and he symbolized a lot of things for me. He taught me how I should really respect authority, how I should really respect those presiding above me, those fighting for my country, even though I'm kind of indifferent towards the topic itself, because I personally could not care to stand for a flag or not, just because of all the injustice going on, everything like that. But at the same time, I don't have a personal opinion towards it because I'm in the position that I am. And I have no reason to feel that I'm being treated injustice. But I could obviously see everything going around that I can definitely get why people are generating those opinions. Okay. Now that I've talked about the importance, now that I've talked about your constitutional right, now I will talk about, next I will talk about the social pressure that lies behind standing or sitting while during the national anthem. One coach mentioned in an article on USA.com, USA Today, HSSHighschool.com, saying, "We want to ensure that our young men make a stand for social injustice. The social pressure behind this story is tremendous because of one player's decision to stand or sit, and it's influencing everybody so tremendously." Another article found in the Huffington Post by Andy Campbell. Though some are trying to dilute and silence the protests that Kaepernick started, it's refreshing to see how people across the sports world, including high school students, have joined the cause. People have not only gone from the NFL just trying to make a statement to now people in high school really feel like that they have to get involved. They have to, whether it's in popularity, whether it's trying to really fight for an unjust cause. People are actually getting treated poorly for that. there was actually an interview at a school where a kid actually got frowned upon and got called a lot of vigorous names just because he was the only kid to stand in that school, because in the demographic of that school, it was about 5% black and 80% white and about 10-15% Asian. So that's not. So he was put down tremendously for just trying to prove his point. And in this day and age, that's not right. And another thing that Colin Kaepernick is demonstrating is that he's peacefully protesting. That's the key thing that I want to mention, is that he's peacefully protesting. He's causing all this ruckus. He's causing all this confusion. He's causing all this pressure to people, all these worries to people. But in reality, he's not doing anything besides standing there and then backing up his opinion. So he just sits there, and then when reporters come to him, he's literally just backing up his opinion. Our nation, or now that I've talked about the social pressure behind standing and sitting for the flag, now I'll talk about whether or not we are free as citizens. Our nation's anthem has been around for many years, but was first recognized in 1931 and was named the Star-Spangled Banner. It's been a part of pre-game rituals ever since 1931, or ever since 1942 in most traditional baseball games. But there was a period where they actually stopped that, and they just started the national. If you guys really pay close attention in sports, they just started the national anthem again back in 2008, 2009, just because. And you know why the main reason they brought that up is because it's more revenue. They saw that it brought more sales respecting the country in the beginning of the telecast. But you have to really look at what the flag means. It's really a tradition to pledge your allegiance to the country of which you stand. The freedoms that we've been granted by those in the military and the army and all the other branches. And for people that don't like this, I don't want to say not to get out of the country, because everyone is entitled to their own opinion. To me, I'm going to take a quote from Colin Kaepernick. To me, this is something that has to be changed. This is something that has to change, and when there is significant change, something truly beautiful will happen. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I believe as citizens we can easily try to improve ourselves as a community, and we can really strive towards something better. and in the end, okay. So now that I've discussed with you why we should stand, now that I've discussed with you our constitutional rights to stand for the national anthem, and I discussed the social pressure lying behind the national anthem. And then I closed with whether or not we are truly free as people. I'll now wrap this up. And even if there is no interest gathered towards this topic, I at least hope that you guys generated a view based on my topic. And I want you to ask yourself, are we truly free as citizens?